What is going on, everyone? Stevo Supremo here, and we have a bunch of pickups to go over today. Stuff that I've kind of had for a couple months, stuff I got recently here at a local convention that I do all the time, and yeah, a bunch of things to show off. The reason we're starting in this position, though, just to give you a quick overview of the game room, because it's been a while since you guys have seen pickups and stuff on this channel. On my other channel, I've been scoring all sorts of cool stuff throughout the whole year. But yeah, I'm going to show you some change I just made recently in this game room. Again, it's a mess, so don't mind the mess that you're going to be seeing, because I just finished some shows and everything's going to be start put back away into my storage unit and all that stuff here shortly. But right now it is kind of a mess, but I wanted to show you guys something. So check this out. We'll turn the camera this way and then switch it over. If you guys remember my shelves here, they were kind of packed full. But you can see we're having some open spaces now. Over here, there's open space. All in that area. Some sections over here. We readjusted like a Sega section there. Over here on our GameCube side, we got more space. And all this stuff is going to be arranged. I built a new shelf recently myself. This is like my PlayStation wall right now. And all I did, if I go along the side here... went to Lowe's, was looking up the shelves that I normally like to use, the ones I just showed you guys, but they were all sold out on Amazon, and those go for about 120 bucks. But this shelf right here actually can hold over about 150 more games than those shelves, and it was way cheaper. This shelf cost me $88 to get all the materials for it. Now these are 1x4s, so I just took some 1x4s and bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bought 10 1x4s, and then I bought a 1x6 for the base down here. I don't know if you guys can see the base down there, because you kind of want a thicker base for stuff to sit on. But yeah, me and my son built that. Doesn't have a paint job done to it, but it's still awesome shelf. Has enough room to hold all these PlayStation games that you're seeing right now, just the wall of PlayStation. So yeah, it cleared up a lot more space, and we have room down there for extras to go into it. And I plan on maybe building a shelf just like that over here to make up for the space on this wall. So again, we built a smaller one, but we need more space to hold more games. So this will probably get replaced too with our Dorito bag over there. But anyways, here. So the camera view is probably going to change now, and we're going to get into the pickups. But yeah, so you can see we're freeing up space so we can get more games on the shelves here. So let's get into some of these pickups. All right, we're back, and a little change with the camera angle here just because I got a lot of stuff to show, and it's going to give me more space to work with. So hopefully the audio comes through okay, because normally I record the audio with my good mic from the computer, but it won't happen this time. So without further ado, let's start getting into some stuff. Like I said, recently we had a local show here where I've got a lot of good stuff that I wanted for the collection. Well, not a lot, but still some good stuff that I wanted. Some stuff that I didn't show that even at the end of the summer when the garage sales were like finally ending, I got some stuff, at least one item I want to show you guys that I thought was really cool. Other than that, some GameStop online orders. We got a bunch of goodies to get through. So first things first, let's dive into the Metroid stuff, because Metroid Prime 4, of course, it's in the news right now. Maybe not for the best of reasons, because we just saw some of that footage from the game released by Nintendo. And yeah, there's a character that a lot of people aren't too happy with. I'm not going to judge anything yet until I play the game. But needless to say, it seemed like that character did not really fit in the environment that Samus is normally like adventuring into. So it's really interesting to have like this comic relief stuff kind of going on in there, but we'll see what happens. But anyways, a lot of stuff has released for Metroid Prime 4 here recently over the past couple months. And for the longest time, I've had this pre-ordered. Alex Return to Mother Base, he was the first one to give me a heads up on this months and months ago. And that was the Metroid Prime 1 through 3 retrospective visual book here. And yeah, I had it pre-ordered for the longest time, and it finally came in a couple weeks ago. And this thing is just awesome. A bunch of artwork, like it says, visual retrospective of Metroid Prime 1 through 3. This was $50 to get pre-ordered, so I don't know if it's still available or not. And I don't know where to look at on this phone. I feel like my camera's supposed to be over here, so I look over there, but I find myself, I don't know. So if my eyes are all over the place, I apologize. But yeah, don't know if it's still available. I hope it is, because if you want it, you can go get it. The one knock I have against it is the cover. I don't really like this canvas cover that it has on there, because these tend to get, if they get dirty, they will hold the dirt really good. Like, it's kind of tough to get it cleaned off. Other than that, everything else is really quality about it. But yeah, just wish it didn't have like this canvas finish on it, because they just get dirty. You can kind of see maybe a mark right there already, and they just stain and won't come out. Especially if it sits in a dusty spot, you got to look out for stuff like this. So, one part of Metroid. And of course, with Prime 4 coming out, they released the new amiibos that you could pre-order, and they came out and released way before the game actually came out yet on December 4th. I think there's one amiibo I have pre-ordered that does release the same day as the game. But of course, we had to get it for the Metroid collection, because we buy everything Metroid in this house. And then the Viola. This thing just looks sick. Give you guys an up-close view of it without a glare. The quality of this thing just looks really awesome. Probably my favorite amiibo out of any amiibo that's been released so far. It's just awesome. So might double buy these if they still have them in stock, just so I could take one out the package, because the box looks cool too, and I just want to keep it in there. So yeah, some Metroid Prime stuff to start off. And what do we want to roll into next? Some back vlog stuff here. I'm not going to show you guys everything from it. If you want to, you can check out the other channel that I was running, another game collector. And I bought a PS4 collection, or some of a PS4 collection, from my good friend Garrett here, who I get stuff from all the time. And if you want to see all the games I got in that, I got a whole video of it. But some highlights that I was special for were these two games, or the ones I was really excited about to finally add to the collection, was Trails to Azure on the PS4 and Trails from Zero. And you're probably asking, Steve-O, why do you got these things in cases? Well, that's because they're still sealed. These are factory sealed. And even though I would really love to play them one day, just the value on these things just keeps going up and up, and it feels like it would be criminal to take it out the shrink wrap. So if I ever do get to play it, I will double dip and just get it digitally. But awesome to have these in the collection for the shelf. So other than that, I'm not going to show off any of the other PS4 stuff, because there's just too much. There's too many games, and there's even more I'll be getting from them later on down the road. But since we're talking about, let's get into some new games, some stuff you saw already that I did when I did the Dragon Quest video. So Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD. Of course, I had to pick that up, and I actually finished Dragon Quest 1 last night. Guys, it was so awesome. This is just such, I'll try to do a review on it, hopefully on the channel. But it's just incredible. The visuals and stuff they did with it, it's just so good. And I want another solo hero RPG. We need to bring one out where it's like just focused on a solo hero, instead of doing challenge runs in Dragon Quest games where you can go solo if you want to. But someone needs to bring it back. I mentioned it. I was watching Pete Dorr stream Dragon Quest the other night, and I was like, you know what? I always had it in my mind, an idea for a solo hero RPG, and it was involving like a cowboy western style thing, almost like Wild Arms, where the lead character is like a cowboy and stuff like that. So it would be really cool if someone could make some type of solo hero RPG again, but it's got its own challenges. This thing isn't the easiest game unless you put it on the easiest difficulty, but it was a blast. One of the other newer ones I picked up, Trails in the Sky, first chapter, and yes, this will be getting cracked open and played eventually. Just again, no time to do anything, play games, and the ones it's like kind of scheduled out, the ones I want to hit next. So right now I got a window because I just finished Dragon Quest 1 HD before Metroid Prime 4 comes out on December 4th. So like 2 weeks-ish. So I'm trying to think. I need to finish up Donkey Kong Bonanza, so that's probably where I'm going to be going, is finishing that up over these last 2 weeks. And then we're going head on into Metroid. So yeah. Now that pick up from the garage sale, just because I thought it was so cool. One of these yard sales where it had everything just like out there, and they had a bunch of CD section and some PC games. And normally people don't look at PC games, they just bypass them. But one that I was shocked to see there, because this is a late in the day yard sale, almost around noon when I went by this thing, was Trespasser, Jurassic Park game on the PC. And this game, it's not an easy to find game. It actually has a little bit of value to it if you do find it out there. But the thing I was excited about was because I've been really into collecting Jurassic Park stuff this year. You guys haven't even seen anything from that collection yet, whether it's from games to the figures and stuff. We've been going crazy with it, me and my son. And so to find this out in the wild, because this is the only way to play this game, I believe, is on PC. It didn't come out on consoles or anything like that. So the only way to play this is PC, to my knowledge. So that's what gives it a little bit, makes it a little bit harder to find, or where it actually has some value, like most PC games don't have any value. So really cool to find that. So let's get into the convention stuff, because I love having this convention we do like once or twice a year here in Moses Lake. This was my 4th time being a vendor at it, and it's just always fun doing it. The vendors, other guys there are really cool. And yeah, you can get some pretty good deals at these small local conventions on games, guys. If you come to my table, you're going to get a good deal, and other people, you're going to get a good deal. One of the highlights there was John Riggs. He normally comes down every once in a blue moon for it, because he does live in Washington State, and it's not too far a drive for him. So it's a small local show, and he'll come down. He sets up a table and stuff too. So it was cool to chat with John and get to know him a little bit more. But the main thing was he had some stuff that I wanted to buy. One of the first things, I just wanted to show support to him as you're here, and buy one of his games. And he brought Choo Choo Mimic down there, so I did buy one of his games just to show support, because I enjoy his channel. Like, man, I want to support you somehow, so I want to buy and try one of your games. And this is a cool looking puzzle game if you look at reviews, and I kind of like the style of game it is. So bought that from him, but it didn't end there, because he brought in a bunch of guides and books, and you guys know I love my books. I love my guides and stuff that relate to gaming, and he had 2 that I really wanted, and he was selling them at a great price, so I couldn't turn it away. So let me bend down here, because these things are heavy. And get these bad boys. And for 20 bucks each, we picked up Pat Contry's The Ultimate Guide to the Nintendo, and he had The Ultimate Guide to the Super Nintendo library. And this one was actually, I think, signed by Pat on it. So yeah, we got Pat's signature down there. You can kind of see it. So I've been wanting to get these for a while. I eyeball them every time at a convention, but I think they're like 70, 80 bucks sometimes at conventions. I'm like, man, and they're heavy to tote around, guys. These things are thick. But he had them there and said, hey, 20 bucks each on them. And he had some other ones there that I meant to get from him before the end of the show. But when I'm packing up and ready to go, it's like I'm ready to go. And I just completely forgot to stop by and like ask about the books he had and stuff again. So maybe next time if he brings them again. But really cool pickup from John to get his game and these 2 books from him. So awesome deal there. All right, the next one, a gentleman there had a box of PC games that he just wanted to get rid of. And it has some good PC games in it. And he's like, here, take these PC games from me for 30 bucks. It has some stuff I want to keep in the collection. Again, it's just too much to show. So it's over there on the other side. It's got like 60 games in it. It's insane. But he also had this game that looked interesting, and that was Counterforce. I don't know anything about it, but for 3 bucks, looked really cool. I was like, you know what? I got to give that a shot. Almost looks like a shoot 'em up and something like, or I just don't know, but it looks awesome. Yeah, 3D shoot 'em up style. So looking forward to giving it a try. Never heard of it, never heard anyone talk about it, and for $3, why not? One of the other cool little pickups here, I'm not a huge Pokemon card collector, but I do try to get anything Machamp that I don't have in a collection, because Machamp's my favorite Pokemon, so if I find something of his I need, I pick it up. And there was a vendor there who did have this Dark Machamp first edition non-holo that I'll be adding. $5, and it's like a $13 card. And this Machamp V that will be going into the Machamp collection. So really cool stuff there. Another vendor Had it really good. It was his first time setting up, and he had some really good stuff. But it's the type of stuff it's like, all right. Well, by the way, with none of these vendors, the only deal I did before the show was with John, because he had, of course, he has plenty of copies of his games. But when he mentioned his books were only $20 a piece, I was like, okay, I got to get those Pat books before anyone gets here, because they'll probably be gone. That's the only stuff I bought before the show. Everything else, I waited till near the end of the show before I bought anything, which will come into play with one of my pickups you'll see here. And that goes into play with I'm surprised these were still there. But another vendor, it was his first time ever doing a show. He had some really good stuff, guys. Complete in box Pokemon stuff that people would love. At a small show like this, people don't really come trying to spend too much money, so the higher end stuff doesn't move too much. But he had some stuff I really wanted. And one of the first ones, Lego Racers on the 64. I was there with the runner of the convention, Jeff, and we were kind of looking at the stuff together. And I had heard good things about this game. And he said, yeah, it's a pretty fun racer. So he said $10 was a good price on it. So I added that to my stack. Tales of Legendia or Legendia. I don't know how you want to say it, but I really enjoy the Tales games, even though I've only played and beaten 2 of them. Pretty much have them all here ready to go when I'm ready to dive into any more of them. But it looks like a good one. It's one of it looks like the combat. I tried Symphonia, and the 2D style combat phase, not the best for me, and I think this one kind of does the same. So we'll see. But the one I really wanted, which unfortunately it is missing its manual, Ape Escape 2. I played the first Ape Escape a couple of years ago now on PlayStation Plus, when you had that and you could play PlayStation games, some select ones on there. And they had Ape Escape, the PSP version's the one I played. And that game was a blast. So when I saw this guy had Ape Escape 2, I was like, I'm getting that. Can't wait to play it. Looking forward to it. Just going around, catching these monkeys. I don't know why it's fun as it is, but it is a fun game. If you've never played the Ape Escape games, they're awesome. All right, so there was a guy there who, again, his first time setting up there. He brought a big display case and everything, like a store shelf. He had a setup going. And before the show, I was talking to him. He's like, I'm going to put up a little spin wheel, like a gamble wheel, pay $15 and good prize on there, but then there could be a bunch of junky prizes on there. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give your wheel a try. When the show's going near the end, I'll go ahead and come by, give you $15 and give it a spin. So I did. I went by and gave it a spin. And literally the 2 worst games on there was Mario Duck Hunt on the NES and then Madden 99 on the Nintendo 64. Everything else is something that was pretty good, even for $15. Still getting a solid deal. Even if it was a $10 game or something like that, it was still a solid game. And then I think the ultimate prize might have been a DS Lite or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. But most stuff was pretty solid. So I took my first spin, and we landed on Madden 99. Of course, the worst one. One of the worst ones. And he felt bad. So he's like, you know what? Spin it again. What do you think I landed on my second spin? That's right. Mario Duck Hunt. So I got the 2 worst things on my only 2 spins. So he felt bad. So he gave them both to me. So $15, got both of these games. I just couldn't believe. What are the odds? All those other choices all around that I land on the 2 worst ones. Yeah, pretty crazy. So yeah, I got to add those to the collection. And look at this price tag. Madden 99 cannot be a $15 game. You gotta be kidding me, right? I don't know. That seems a little high for it. But anyways, the pickup I was most excited about. And if you go and watch John Riggs' video, he did a great overview of this seller too, because he bought a bunch of games from him too. And that kind of bit me in the butt, because there is a vendor there, I believe his name was Anthony, and he always brings some cool NES, he keeps NES games. I'll show you guys one that I have here that we're going to be showing. Base is loaded. I mean, they're most of the time super clean. He has them in these protectors here. Price laid out on it. Just everything laid out looking real nice. And before the show, I walked by it and I was like, man, I'm going to be buying a lot of games from you today. I got a lot of holes in my NES collection, and you got a lot of games here at really good prices that are going to fill the holes in that collection. Because I'm one of those guys, you'll see, this is a lot of cheap stuff. There's nothing crazy in here. But even little filler games for $3, I'll buy them because I just love. NES has been my most played system this year, and I just love playing it. I love giving every game a try on it. So it's one of those things that maybe over time, of course, we'll go for the complete NES set, but very slowly. It's not a main goal or anything, but it's still pretty cool to go after, like having a whole NES set. That'd be crazy. But I told him I'll come back and just snatch a bunch of stuff. But again, I want to give buyers first shot before I go do anything. So, but if you watch John's video, he beat me to it because before the end of the show, literally maybe about 20 minutes before I went to him to go start buying my games, apparently John went, and you'll see he cleared out some of the really good ones that I needed for my collection, like a Super C and stuff like that. I think he had picked up out of there, again, at a really good price. I mean, he bought a bunch of stuff. He cleared out one of Guy's whole boxes. So, again, going to a good guy, so he'll find good homes for those. Maybe they'll still end up with me. I'll find a way to get them from him. But I still made out with a good stack myself. So, at least the stuff I want. All the really good titles were kind of gone already. But still, in alphabetical order, we'll be adding all these. Bases Loaded 3. Destination Earthstar, Ghostbusters 2, Jeopardy 25th Anniversary, Kings of the Beach, Knight Rider. I couldn't believe I didn't have Kung Fu yet, but we got Kung Fu here. Sesame Street 1, 2, 3, which I was trying to go through my app to make sure I didn't have, like, my Game Eye app, like, looking through it and, like, making sure I didn't have certain games. And I think I might have this one, even though it wasn't in my app. I'll have to double check. Spy Hunter and Super Strike V-Ball. Now, the total of this would have been $61, but since he's such an awesome guy, $45 for all those. So, incredible deal, like, just awesome deal. Going right into the collection. And again, all these things are just in super excellent condition, guys. Like, very minty on the labels and stuff. So, Anthony, awesome deal there. Really cool. So, next time he comes down, I think he always has a good inventory of NES games. I might buy some a little sooner next time so I don't miss out on it. But, John, you beat me to it this time. So, next up, what do we got next? Let's get into, like, this GameStop pickup here, because this was an interesting GameStop pickup for me. And it all starts with the retro gaming section of GameStop. And this was recently. I ordered these not too long ago because I went on GameStop's website and I saw some Sega Saturn games in stock. And it's one of those things when you roll the dice on the online portion of GameStop, the odds are you might not get something back. It might just be a disc only. That's the chance you take. But luckily, if you get something like that, you can take it back to a local store and return it if you want to. And unfortunately, that is what happened with me. I had 3 Sega Saturn games that I ordered. All of them came disc only. But I actually kept these 2. I wanted to keep these 2 even if they were disc only, because it was still a good price for them at the disc only price. And one of these, I just really didn't care. And that was Virtual Cop 2 being one of them. The other one, Sonic 3D Blast. So it would have been awesome. Like, again, these were priced at like $30 for this one. This was like 16, I think, once the Pro thing kicked in. So really good price for both of these. But if they would have came complete, it's like an $80 game. So it would have been a huge savings if it came complete. But unfortunately, it did not. The third game, though, I did not keep. And that was D on the Sega Saturn. That is a 2-disc game on the Sega Saturn. And unfortunately, they only shipped me one of the discs. And that was disc 2. So could not keep that one. I don't know how stuff like that screws up. You can clearly read it on there. It says disc 2. And that kind of makes you nervous when you're returning something like that. Because the store could say, like, hey, this is a 2-disc game. Where's the other disc? Like, they're trusting. There's got to be a trust factor there. Luckily, like, I got a really good trust factor with my GameStop, so they took that one for me. And when I returned that, incredibly, they actually had some games, some retro games at the store. They have a little section. I don't know if you guys go on your GameStop. Sometimes they have the glass look through shelf on top of the counter, where most of the time there's just a couple games in there. And they had Home Alone 2 sitting in there on the NES. But she's like, oh, I got a bunch of more NES games down in a drawer. Do you want to look at those? So I was like, yeah, I want to look at them. It wasn't much. It was like 7 more games. But I ended up buying these with that credit that I got back from returning the game. Again, we're into the light guns right now, so we finally got a copy of Hogan's Alley on the NES. Gyrus or Gyrus, not sure how you want to pronounce that. RoboCop and Narc on the NES. So turned in that Sega Saturn Game D and then walked out with some NES games. So we've been adding to the NES games like a lot here over the past month. But I think to wrap things up, we'll get into some Facebook Marketplace deal stuff that kind of went down. That's where the rest of these games had come from. Facebook Marketplace in some sort of fashion or other. And yeah, so let's get into it. The first one here was a guy who I bought stuff from in the past, and he put up on his page like $10 each for some PS3 games. So we bought Black Site Area 51 from him, and $10 was a really good deal for this one. I don't want to pronounce it wrong, but Venicta? I don't know. But those two he had, I wanted to add to the collection. So $20, awesome deal. This Facebook Marketplace deal happened like just a couple days ago. And there was a guy who had some PlayStation 2s listed. He's like, I got a PlayStation 2 Fat System and a Slim just for $50 each. And I contacted him saying, hey, I'd be interested in the Fat PS2 because my Fat PS2, it just sounds horrible, guys. When you turn it on, like the jet engine sound, maybe it needs to be cleaned. I don't know. But the back's kind of cracked too. It's not the best looking one. So it's like, you know what? I'll just take a upgrade for $50 on a Fat PS2. That's a really good price. Fair price too for trying to sell it on the marketplace. So contacted him about that. And when I showed up to his place the next day to pick it up, he said it like he had a bunch of games and stuff he hadn't listed yet, other things. I was like, hey, are all the games and stuff for sale? And there were PS2 games there. He's like, I was just going to throw the games in with the system, so you could just take them. And I was like, no, I'll also give you a little bit extra money for some of the games. So he had some PS2 stuff there, Xbox 360 stuff, and then he had a Game Boy Advance, SP, and Game Lot and stuff. So it just turned in from getting PS2 stuff to I bought some games, and then I bought his Game Boy Advance stuff. It was awesome. He was awesome, and he's got even more stuff that he's taken out of stores that he said he'll give me first dibs on too, just because I paid him a good price for all his Game Boy Advance stuff. But start off with the PS2 stuff here. Spyro: A Hero's Tale. The Mark of Kree, which this looks like an awesome game. And did that get like a remaster or something on anything? And then Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. An Xbox, or a couple of Xbox games that he had here. Well, a mixture of every Xbox system. Need for Speed Carbon. Juice 2, which these are supposed to be some pretty good racing games, the Juice games. And speaking of Juice 2, we got the first one there as well. Everything's a little dusty and dirty. And then this version of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for the Xbox One and 360 kind of combo disc. So don't run into this too often. So snatch that up from him as well. But the big thing was the Game Boy Advance stuff. And I'm trying to look around here, guys, because I can't find the system. It's the black AGS 001 system. I did not have that one, so I was like, sweet, I'll add that to the Game Boy Advance collection. And it did have more games in this, but all those were double, so I don't need those games. But we got a stack of games here I did need that I did not have in the collection. This is one I would like to have complete in box one day, but because I'm a big Phantasy Star fan, and that's the Phantasy Star collection here on Game Boy Advance. 007 Everything or Nothing. I popped this in, and this is actually a pretty fun little game on the Game Boy Advance. One I thought I had, Zelda Link to the Past 4 Swords. Dungeons and Dragons, Eye of the Beholder. Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships 2004. Donkey Kong Country. Then my favorite pickup out of that lot, other than the Game Boy itself, was Zelda Oracle of Ages. Again, not the best label condition, but still. Finally got this in the collection. Another one I would like to have complete in box one day. But hey, for now, we're just fine and happy with the cartridge. So, man, we still got one more game here, and I think we will be at the end of everything I grabbed out. So, oh no, we got my favorite pickup from the show still. I didn't show off earlier. We'll rewind and go back to that. But another Facebook Marketplace deal. This came with some other stuff too, but I can't remember what it was. This was the only one I could remember that came in it, and I'm surprised I didn't have this already complete in box in the collection. I thought I did. I passed this up in deals and yard sales a lot of times because I thought I had it. And then I finally looked through the collection, didn't have it. So now we got it. Complete in box, Mario Kart DS. Okay, rewind. Back to the convention. There was an awesome pickup from the guy I bought the Ape Escape and stuff from. My favorite pickup from the show. The first thing I saw on his table that I wanted to get because it's a game series my son loves, a game series that I love. And ever since I bought the huge standee about a year or so or two back now, decided that, man, we're going all in on Luigi's Mansion stuff. Like one day there will be a Luigi's Mansion corner and shrine with that standee in it in a basement. It's going to be awesome. And when I saw this on the table, I couldn't pass it up. So it is the Luigi and the Polterpup, and it's like it glows into like lights up. So you can light this up, this little statue here. You can see the price tag. You wanted $50 for it, which he only sold. I think I only paid $40 for it. So gave me a discount on it. But this thing is awesome. It's one I've seen online sometimes. I think new they go for about $80. So it's probably about the going rate for it being open because it has been open. So probably will take this out and plug it in sometime. But anytime we can come across some Luigi's Mansion stuff, I just gotta pick it up. So really cool. You can kind of see on the picture back there that, see how it kind of lights up some. So really neat. So really awesome to add that to the Luigi collection. And yeah, so that was one of the my favorite pickup from the show, hands down. All right, guys, so that is everything. Well, it's not everything. I got so much stuff over the past month or two that it's just going to be impossible to show you guys everything, but that's a good chunk of it. And we'll kind of pick up from this point on any new things that come in and eventually do an upgraded room tour. After it gets cleaned up in here, we'll do a whole new room tour to show you guys a lot of the new additions and stuff, or any new games you might not have seen. There's some new TurboGrafx stuff back there you guys haven't seen. So yeah, some really cool things. I'm glad we actually have a new shelf in here to get some more games put on it. I have a new TV stand. I don't know if I should on this channel or not yet, but we kind of did the TV stand different in here where it's just a normal TV stand now. So those box things I had my TV sitting on are now behind my couch and can hold a lot more stuff on there too. So space is opening up. We're trying to do better things with the space to make it more accommodating. But yeah, that's the pickup. So yeah, this has been going on long enough. And if you hung out this long, I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.